It's a bright morning. It's around 11, and I wanted to show you what I've been doing in the garden here and there when I have time. It's kind of a weird busy season in the fall. It's not like spring when you're just waiting and waiting to get in the garden. At least not for me this fall. It's been a little crazy. So I've got my seeds, and I just want to show you how the garden is and maybe plant some seeds with me. So let's go check it out. What do you got? You got a potato? You gonna eat it? Alright, so before I plant anything, I'll show you. I've got carrots thrown in through here, a couple of my brassicas down there that are struggling, marigold hanging in there, some brassicas of mine through here, and then these are store-bought cauliflower. My daughter planted them really close, and then the compost, you can see I'm getting stuff growing out of the compost, my own compost there. Looks like watermelon. But those are looking okay. These are getting eaten up. This is the store-bought broccoli starts. Something's been eating at them. So there's that. Well, I found out who's been doing the munching. You see him? It's a ginormous graveyard grasshopper, and he has just been snacking on the leaves. So I'm gonna put him in a box because I don't really feel like squishing him, but he needs to go. The basil has all gone to seed. The bees are loving the flowers that are still open, although a lot of them are closing and seeding, but the bumblebees just love it. Basil's still good. I could still get a lot of basil off here. I haven't eaten as much as I should, but I always leave it for the bees. So here's some new area that I've opened up that was covered with mulch and cardboard, and I'm going to kind of pull a few more weeds out and then throw some stuff down in here. All space is used. My peppers are coming to the end. I've gotten so many. I told you I pickled some. But they're hanging in there, and they will until the frost comes. Got some bugs on them. And my bell pepper still trying to climb up taller here. And I've gotten a ton off just, they're supposed to be orange bell peppers, but I've settled for green this year because they didn't really turn orange. When they started to turn orange, they got weird. Anyway, it's like falling over. Still trying to go, still trying to put out flowers. So no matter how busy my day is, if I just take a minute to come out here and do one little thing, it really helps me appreciate everything. There's a butterfly. I don't know if you can hear it, but the kids are inside being crazy. And I'm out here with the bees, just taking a minute. Still got a zinnia going right here. And then these are all my brassicas that I started inside. Some kohlrabi, some cabbage, I don't even know, some broccoli. I know that's a purple kohlrabi, but the other ones, I planted a bunch of different brassicas, and a lot of times they look the same. I think these are broccoli. I hope so, because I really wanted broccoli more than anything. And here is the garlic rows. I've got one garlic poking out, and then I cleared a space there to plant, probably more kale. And then through here I've planted, I believe I put carrots here, and I think I can see some. There's kale here, and you can see I kind of divided, and I wrote down what I did, but looks like some more kale. I can see, you can tell when it's a brassica, but I can't remember. I have to look what I threw down in here. So this is all planted, and yeah, that's really it. Ginger's doing good. I've got a spot. I threw down some compost that I purchased, and then I covered it so it can just do its work and not grow weeds. Brussels sprouts. Another Brussels and another one hanging in there. I also planted some of these those onions that are supposed to be like multiplying onions. I've planted a few in through here. They seem to be doing well. I see green coming out. More kohlrabi. Oh, that's what that is over there. It's a bunch of kohlrabi. Duh. Alright, I definitely want to plant some more beets. I'm going to plant some onions. I usually try to bring my notebook because I'll just get crazy in the garden and forget to write down what I threw down. But right through here, I'm just going to put some cilantro. I do not have any rhyme or reason when I plant seeds. I'm like, okay, whoever survives this wants to grow. I just kind of lightly cover them, mix them around in there. This soil over here is really nice. I should plant some carrots over here. Certain spots in the garden will be real nice and other ones aren't, and it just is what it is. I'm going to try throwing down some onions. This is a Texas early grano. And I'll usually just grab a stick kind of to mark between my plantings. Super basic. Keep it simple so you don't overthink it. Oh, it's so nice. It's still pretty warm, but just being out here with the butterflies and just taking a minute. Sometimes I'll just be busy and not just take a minute, and that's what that's what the garden does for me. It lets me just be out here, and I can still be busy because I like to be busy, but it's peaceful busy. Alright, so I gotta go write this down as soon as I finish. I put cilantro, white onions, and red onions here. I like using up every space that I have. Oh, I see another garlic coming up right there. So for now, I'll just stick my packages there so I can try to remember. So I'm going to put beets because I love beets. Hello. Excuse me. I know. So I did run the rake through this when I pulled the mulch back, but I'm just running my fingers through it. There's some tape from my cardboard. I don't always get all the tape off 100%, but I try. Get most of it off because the tape won't biodegrade. It'll just be there. So beets make about 3 plants per seed, so you don't need a ton of beet seeds in one area, and you're gonna have to thin your beets anyways if you want them to get bigger because they need their space. I have this lesson that I teach in my plants class. I actually learned it in a gardening class in Alaska that I got to teach with before I even really knew a lot about gardening. Anyway, the 5 things that plants need, right? Water, sun, food, water, sun, food, air, oxygen, and the 5th thing is space. And sometimes, we forget that those are all the things we need too. There's more tape. But that your plants really need that space, or if you want them to develop to their full potential, you got to give them their space. And I feel that way too. Give me my space. I'm pulling out a bunch of, it's more plastic, but a lot of sticks that I had covering this, because this has been my border before, and now I slowly pull the border back every year, and it's perfectly ready. So, oh my gosh, so much tape over here. Alright, so I got the beets all through here. I got ants in my shoes. Alright, so I grabbed my notebook and I'm writing it down. And it reminded me that I planted purple cabbage, kohlrabi, and kale and cilantro down there. And see, I didn't remember. I only remembered one of the things right. Two of the things. So, write it down if you're like me. Cilantro, and I guess I already had cilantro planted, so now I'll have 2 patches. So I'm writing that down, and then I'm gonna water it, and then I gotta go to class. So, oh my gosh. Thank you for tuning in and just hanging out with me in the garden for a little while. Let this be a reminder, you know, you have time for what you make time for, right? So it's time to prioritize your priorities. That's what I tell myself when I'm like, oh, I wish I had time for yoga. I do. And I'm going to make that time. So I hope you make that time to do the things that make you happy. And I'm glad one of those things is watching my videos if you're here. Have a great day, guys. Bye. I don't know about you, but watering the garden, there's a rainbow. Watering is super peaceful. My mom used to go out and water in the evenings. So I could see it's kind of meditative. I love water in all forms.